Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto got banished and got harem with Temari, Hotaru and Shizuka. Part 3. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. In the river country, Naruto was staying at an inn to relax. He sat on his room's bed counting up all his daily earned money. Well, this place sure fun to entertain, though it seems like some of the people here preferred my banjo playing over my magic act, only by a cent. No matter, since they don't know it's the same guy doing both shows. He chuckled to himself. He then pulled out his map. Let's see, where to go next. He marked off some places he's been so far. This is a good choice for my next show, the land of snow. Well, you better pack a lot of winter gear, it'll be practically below zero there. Kurama warned him. I know that, Kurama, he began, you forget I've been there before. How could I forget what I never knew? Kurama played dumb to humor him. Har har. The next day Naruto was out at a sporting goods shop buying some winter clothes, and any other essentials to use for warmth. When he put them by the counter, the worker scanned it all. That's a lot of winter gear. Yeah, I'm going to see an old friend who lives someplace extremely cold. Naruto answered. Good luck with that. No need to tell me twice. Naruto paid for his stuff. Soon enough Naruto stood outside the inn wearing a heavy blue winter coat with his hood up, snow goggles, black snow pants, and black winter boots. Alright, I'm off to the land of snow. He took off into the sky and flew in the direction of his destination. A few hours later Naruto was crossing the seas and could see some icebergs in the distance. This is it, he said as he flew faster and landed on the snowy land. Brr, chilly. Naruto said as he bundled up. You sure you can find your way to the castle again? Kurama asked. I'm positive. Naruto said as he put his goggles on to avoid any incoming blizzards that would blind him. He started trekking his way through the snowy forest, while looking around hoping he wouldn't run into any trouble. Even though he and Squad 7 helped Princess Koyuki overthrow her uncle months ago, he still couldn't be too careful. Suddenly he heard some noises. Wonder what that is? He asked himself as he followed the sound until he saw in the distance a film set, meaning a movie was being made. Well, looks like I came just in time. He walked over but remained hidden so not to disrupt the movie filming. He watched as the princess herself rode in on a horse onto the set and got off to stare down the supposed villain. She and the villain's actor fought in swordplay until the princess struck him down. And cut. The producer called. The crew and actors sighed and got themselves together for a break. Naruto noticed Princess Koyuki was relaxing. He decided to make himself known. He approached her while clapping his hands, very impressive as always from an actress who also happens to be a princess. Who are you? Koyuki asked in confusion. Princess, I'm hurt. It's only been a few months and you've already forgotten who I am? Naruto asked as he removed his hood. Wait a minute, that voice. Naruto? She asked. Naruto removed his goggles and grinned. Hey princess. He greeted. Naruto. Koyuki lunged at him, knocking him into the snow. Easy there princess. Naruto chuckled as the two got up. It's so good to see you. Koyuki smiled. And it's good to see you too. He smiled back. I almost didn't recognize you with that new hair color. What can I say, I needed an alteration to my appearance. But what are you doing here? Are Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke with you? No, just me. Really? That's strange for you to come alone. I'll explain later, but it looks like you're doing well. I am. Sure, these movies can be tiring, but being both the ruler of this country and an actress is something I said I could pull off. And you sure are. They chuckled. Koyuki heard a bell. Oh, there's the bell, time to continue filming. Let's meet after the filming to talk. Deal. He said as she went back to the set to resume the movie. Naruto continued watching from the sides, enjoying the free screening of the princess' next movie. He remembered his last time in the land of snow about while he was busy fighting her tyrant of an uncle and his guards. He was also being filmed by the crew to use for their movie. I wonder if they'll let me cast in one of their screenings, he thought to himself. You'd love that, wouldn't you? After the filming, Koyuki brought Naruto back to her castle where they could catch up. Upon entering the princess parlor, Naruto sighed in relief, seeing the fireplace was lit. Feels a lot warmer in here, Naruto said as he removed all his winter wear, revealing his real clothes underneath. Just make yourself at home, Naruto, Koyuki said as she took a seat. Arigato. So I guess your workers are still trying to work the kinks out of the heat generator, hence why there's still some snow here. Yes, but we may be on the verge of a breakthrough with it, she replied. Cool. I really wished I knew you were coming for a visit ahead of time. I would have had a chance to make arrangements. It was actually a spur of the moment, and I got here faster than any boat could take. How so? And why is it Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura are not with you? Naruto looked down and was prepared to dish out the sad news to her. Well, princess, I'm a banished ninja. Koyuki nearly fell out of her seat before regaining her balance. You're what? Yup, Konoha finally kicked me out, he answered. But that's absurd. It's outrageous. Why would they do that? Get ready for a long story, Naruto said as he started telling the princess everything that happened. Koyuki was in shock hearing that Naruto's own teammate who helped him in saving her from her uncle suddenly decided to go rogue and attacked him without mercy. She was more shocked from the fact that the village's biased council overpowered the Hokage, forcing her to banish such a loyal and kind shinobi. And so now here I am, Naruto finished. Naruto, I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry. She shed a tear. Hey, no sad faces around me. To tell you the truth, I'm glad I got banished. You're glad? She asked in confusion. Yeah, now I don't have to put up with any more biased civilians or councilmen. I'm free to do what I want and what I please, he kicked back. But what about Sakura, Kakashi, and all your other friends in the village? Admittedly, I do miss them. They're about the only ones that actually cared about me. But not even they would be enough to want me to come back. I see. It's no big deal. I did manage to find 3 jobs to help me with my travel and living. Really, 3 jobs? With my Kage Bunshin Jutsu I can multitask to no end, he reminded her. I can understand that, though. What jobs have you taken up? Well, the first one is bounty hunting. If there's a nuke in the area with a good enough price on its head, I catch them and cash them in. You take on nuke by yourself? Don't worry, I've gotten a lot stronger since the last time you saw me in action. I even picked up some new tricks. Naruto smirked. So what of your other jobs? The other 2 is magic and banjo playing. You play the banjo? Yeah, took a few lessons when I decided to, and I'm actually pretty good at it. I see, and you do magic as well? Oh yeah, and my new tricks make it all the more easy. I'd like to see them, if I can. You just might be able to. He smiled as he looked over, motioning to a mirror on the dresser. He extended his hand and suddenly it flew right off its spot and into Naruto's hand. Naruto! Koyuki gasped, what? How did you? It's just a trick, he smirked, along with others. He concentrated and suddenly the 2 were being lifted off the ground. Whoa, oh! Koyuki gasped as she waved her arms around, not sure how this was happening, while Naruto remained calm. Don't struggle, princess, just relax. Naruto calmed her. So she stopped lashing around and looked around. Naruto, how are we floating? It's just a matter of brain power. He chuckled. Brain power? Yup. I got to say I'm very impressed. Levitating us both just like that. A lot has changed since you last saw me, he reminded her. Princess. A voice came from outside the chamber. Koyuki was shocked and didn't want any of her servants to see this, so Naruto quickly lowered them both down and back on the couch. Yes, come in, Koyuki answered as one of her servants entered. Begging your pardon, Your Highness, but I've received word from your director that one of the actors has come down with something and won't be able to fill in. What? She gasped. Yes, the actor Machizio, I believe, is who he is. But he's the one who plays the retired mercenary, and he's a large asset to the film. Not to mention we're nearing our final filming days before the deadline for summer. She panicked. Problem? Naruto asked. One of the major actors has just come down with something, and we only have 3 days left for the shooting. She sighed until she looked at Naruto and gasped, Naruto, how would you like to make a little money for helping us out with the movie? What are you saying? He asked, but deep down knew where this was going. How about filling in for our actor? Me? Really? Please, Naruto. Do this for me. She took his hands into hers, making him blush. Sure, not a problem. Looks like you'll get to be in her next movie after all. Kurama thought. Oh yeah. He thought back. Later that day Naruto met up with everyone on the set, and with a costume change and makeup he was already on the scene as it was filming. Taking place after where Princess Gale defeated the villain, she headed off and met up with her traveling companions where Naruto acted as the lead. Are you okay, Princess? Naruto acted out his role. Never better, Kazuo. What about the rest of you? Koyuki asked while acting. We're all okay, the guards stood no chance against us. That's good news to hear. Yes, well come on, we better get home now. Naruto said as they started walking down a path while the crew followed to film the scene. Well Kazuo, not bad for a retired mercenary. Koyuki teased. And not bad yourself, for a princess. Naruto chuckled. It's too bad you're retired and all, I was actually thinking of hiring you as a permanent guard. What would the payment go up to for me? He asked. Koyuki laughed, I don't think you'll ever change. And cut. The director called, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. That's a wrap, folks. So everyone walked off the set and got themselves together. So how was I? Naruto asked. Naruto, my boy, you great. You were perfect. Hell, you were better than perfect. The director congratulated him, and you, princess, as fabulous as always. This new feature is going to be a hit as always. Koyuki and Naruto giggled. So Naruto, since you need a place to stay while you're here, how about staying at my castle? Koyuki offered. I'd be incredibly rude to turn down such an offer from you. Naruto said, accepting her offer. That night Koyuki and Naruto were having dinner. Man, this is delicious. Naruto said as he ate. Eat as much as you want, Naruto, there's plenty. Don't mind if I do, Naruto continued eating. He then asked, so how did that last movie turn out, the Ika movie? Oh, very well, though I wish the actor who I was working with was better in the bed for real. Say what? He may act like he knew what he was doing on camera, but in real life he was such an amateur, and at an adult age too, she sighed, it was embarrassing. Don't worry, I'm sure the right guy will come around. Naruto said. Koyuki looked over at Naruto, yeah, you're right. She smiled. Later one Naruto had went with the princess to her room. Why exactly did you bring me in here, princess? Please just call me Koyuki, Naruto. Right. Naruto said, knowing he either referred to her by her first name or princess, so hearing that he decided to permanently stick with calling her by her name. Anyway, I thought you could use a little relaxation. And I know of the perfect way to help you, but first let me slip into something more comfortable. Oh. Naruto asked as Koyuki walked over to her bathroom, pulled the sliding screen door closed, but Naruto could see her silhouette through the screen. Naruto watched as Koyuki started stripping down. Even though the screen door prevented Naruto from seeing her completely, the outline of her silhouette stripping was enough to turn his teen hormones on, good God. He panted while his hands started trembling. Soon the screen doors opened up, revealing Koyuki dressed in a bathrobe with her hair done up in a bun. She smiled while motioning to come over. Naruto took the invitation and got up from his seat. Koyuki turned around with her back facing him and let her robe fall down, exposing her bare back and tight ass. Naruto's eyes widened as she stepped into the hot tub in her private bathroom. She rested on the rim looking over at the boy. "Come in, and I'll show you how to relax." "Okay," Naruto said as he removed his black flak vest. Koyuki drifted backwards in the tub as she watched Naruto disrobe. When he was finished, he stepped in the rub opposite of her and got comfortable. "Man, this is nice." He relaxed as the heated water soothed him. "Naruto, would it be alright if I washed you?" Koyuki asked. Naruto suddenly blurted out, "Dear Kami, yes." He covered his mouth, sorry for saying that out loud like that. Koyuki giggled as she grabbed a sponge and got behind the boy and started washing his back for him. Naruto was panting a bit before he started relaxing. "That's it, Naruto, just relax and let your princess take care of you." She giggled. Once she finished washing Naruto, she handed the sponge off to him. "Okay Naruto, time for you to return the favor." "You got it," Naruto said as he began washing her back as well. The princess moaned in delight as she was washed by the brave young man she met those months ago. Soon after he covered her back, she turned to face him. "I'm really glad you decided to come and visit Naruto, even though I'm royalty. Without my father or Sandeu, I just feel lonely being here," she explained. "I can only imagine how that must feel." Naruto answered and found himself being embraced by the woman with her impressive mounds pressing into his chest, making him blush. "You do understand the pain of being alone, that's why you do understand how I feel. And I'm glad someone like you could be here for me, Naruto." She continued to hug him as Naruto did the sensible thing by returning the hug. "This feeling of being loved and comforted by someone who cares about me is wonderful. Naruto, I'm glad I feel this way with you, and I'd love to continue feeling this way with you around. So, would it be okay with you if I gave you a kiss?" "Wha?" Naruto asked. "I want to see what other kind of feelings would emerge and how deep a simple kiss has on me," she whispered while gazing deeply into his eyes. "Koyuki," he gasped before finding an answer. "Alright, you may." Koyuki smiled as she leaned in and kissed him on the lips while Naruto returned it. The two relaxed there in the hot tub kissing. "Wow, this is amazing," Naruto thought. "You act as if you haven't been kissed before," Kurama thought. "I know, but can this princess kiss or what?" "I'd rather not answer," Koyuki thought. "My first real kiss out of love. It feels beautiful," she thought while wrapping her arms around Naruto's neck, pulling him deeper into the kiss while Naruto wrapped his arms around her waist, pulling herself closer to him. So they stayed like that for an hour before they retired to Koyuki's room, each dressed in a night robe while laying on the princess bed. "Man, this bed is comfy," Naruto said as he got comfortable on it. Koyuki smiled as she leaned into him and spoke. "Naruto. Would you play me a song with your banjo? I'd really appreciate it." "You would, huh? Well, alright, let me get it." Naruto levitated his scroll over to him and unsealed his banjo. "This one's a little number for you, princess." He chuckled and began plucking a few notes before he started playing a tune. Koyuki smiled as she moved her head to the rhythm. As he finished, he discovered Koyuki fell asleep with her head on his shoulder. He smiled as he put his banjo back in the scroll and got comfortable with Koyuki sleeping with her in his embrace. Over the course the next 4 days, Naruto's visit to the land of snow had been very successful as he was able to share his magic show and banjo playing with the good people of the land who greatly admired his talent, along with still working with the film crew for any last-minute touch-ups to the movie. On the 5th day, Naruto said it was time for him to go. Naruto stood on the balcony of Koyuki's castle with the princess standing with him. "Remember to send my check to my account." "We will, Naruto, but are you sure you won't reconsider staying here with me?" she asked. "Can't, but don't worry, I'll come back, I promise." Koyuki smiled. "You take care of yourself out there, Naruto. With your abilities I know you will become a better shinobi than you were as a Konoha ninja." "Thanks, princess." Naruto smiled as he levitated up a bit and kissed her before flying off. "Goodbye for now, Naruto. Koyuki waved farewell as he disappeared in the snowy white sky. Somewhere in a forest one late afternoon, Naruto was up in a tall tree lying against the trunk while playing a tune on his banjo just to pass time. When he finished playing he relaxed a bit while looking out into the distance of the forest. What a view from up here, he admitted to himself. He then resealed his banjo and descended back down to the forest ground. Well, time to go find me some dinner. Naruto started trekking his way back to town until he froze with his eyes gazing around suspiciously. Suddenly he heard the sound of several kunai and shuriken aimed right for him. Weak, he said, holding his hands up, and waved them away, making the ninja weapons change course and end up getting embedded into several trees. Without even looking back, 7 root umbu appeared once again ready to strike with their swords. You guys seriously never learn a thing. What do they train you in that root umbu system? He asked. To accomplish our mission no matter what the cost, one of them answered. Naruto turned inside while pacing. Look you guys, I've defeated so many of you sent to eliminate me before, so what makes you think you're gonna do any better than the others? Rather than answer they drew their swords and charged. Not gonna give me a response, are you? Well, that's just being rude. He did hand signs and called, Atsugai, pressure damage. He took a deep breath and released a blast of air from his mouth, forcing the root umbu back several yards into the forest, knocking them unconscious. Naruto flew off in the direction he blasted them in and found all of them crushed under a few trees, and once again, they pay the price for their own stupidity of thinking they can crush me. Soon Naruto pried them all out from under the fallen tree and buried them into the earth so no one would find them. Now then, back to dinner. He hurried back to town. When he returned to the town he was stopping in, he went inside a restaurant and ordered some food. When his meal arrived he ate quietly to himself while thinking, so tomorrow I head out to Taki and see Shibuki, wonder how he's doing since we last met. He's probably doing fine, of course. Kurama thought. I hope so, he's a village hero after all. You know, in a sense you're also like a hero to Taki as well. Lest we forget you defended it from that Suian guy. Yeah, I know, but they'd still consider their village leader more of a hero since, well, he's their leader. Whatever you say. After finishing his dinner he paid for it and left to go back to the inn he was staying at to get some sleep. As he slept he woke up finding himself inside his mindscape. What am I doing here? Kurama, what's up? He looked up at the cage as Kurama spoke. Well kid, over the last few months, I've been feeling some other chakra signature radiating from within this place. You mean something else besides you is in here? Naruto asked. It's what I believe, and it seems to be focusing from the seal that binds me here. The fox motioned to the seal on his cage. Naruto looked at the seal tag on th cage, knowing it was that very tag connected to the seal on his stomach that made him the Jinchuriki that he is. He put his hand on it but suddenly pulled it off seeing it was smoking. What the? Naruto, put your hand back on the tag. What, and burn my hand right off? Naruto asked. Just do it. Kurama ordered. Alright, but if I get a 3rd-degree burned palm for life, I'll hate you for life. Naruto warned him as he put his palm back on the tag and could feel a bit of a burning sensation. However, that burning sensation started feeling warm against his palm. He and Kurama watched as the seal tag glowed, illuminating the whole mindscape. When the light died down Naruto saw he was standing in a brighter void and noticed 2 figures in the shadows were approaching him. He was about ready to defend himself until he saw the 2 figures come into the light. Standing before him were the 2 people he recognized from pictures inside the scroll given to him by Jiraiya. It was the 2 people he never got to know the day he was born, Minato Namikaze his father and Kushina Uzumaki his mother. Whoa, no way. Naruto gasped. Naruto, it's you. Kushina smiled. You've really grown, son. Minato smiled. Mom? Dad? Naruto gasped. They nodded as Minato spoke, yes son, it's us. Suddenly Naruto's eyes started getting watery and he hung his head down as he cried, I don't believe it, you're both really here. Naruto. Kushina gasped seeing her boy cry as the 2 deceased adults approached him. It's been so long since we've seen you, Naruto, Minato began, you've really grown up. Dad? HM. Suddenly Minato got slugged in the gut by Naruto, making him groan as he dropped to his knees. OH. Kushina, he hits just like you. He groaned. Naruto. Kushina gasped, seeing how he greeted his father, and hoped he wouldn't try anything like that on her. Naruto looked back up with a tear-stained face. That was for leaving me alone with a burden on my shoulders. That village treated me like scum, a plague, a monster. Minato recovered and spoke, typical, and here I thought the village would have learned through so many experiences not to judge someone based on who they are or what they have. Naruto, I know I have no right or amount of ways of saying this, but I am truly sorry. Naruto looked to his father and smiled, don't worry Dad, I already did forgive you. He turned to his mother, Mom. He ran to her and hugged her. Kushina smiled as she embraced her son, my baby. Minato joined in the family hug until Naruto spoke, I don't understand it, how is it you two are here when you're supposed to be dead? That's what I'd like to know. Kurama's voice was heard as he appeared in a human-sized form out of his cage. Kurama, you're looking well. Kushina said. Naturally. He admitted. Alright you two, how are you both here? Naruto asked as Minato explained. Well son, you are aware that the seal used to seal Kurama inside of you was a creation made by the Uzumaki clan. Kushina continued, when your father sealed Kurama inside of you he ended up encoding portions of our own chakra into it, so that one day you would be able to unlock it and we would appear. Amazing. Naruto gasped. Naruto, we have so much we still want to tell you, we don't know how to really start. Minato said. Just start at the beginning. Naruto answered and Minato and Kushina sat down telling their son all about how they first met and how they grew up together leading to their marriage. Kushina discussed about how she was looked down upon at the ninja academy because she was a foreigner and had unusual red-colored hair. She added that she was nicknamed Tomato due to her round face and red hair, but soon gained the title of hot-blooded habanero after going postal on her tormentors' asses. When they were finished Naruto spoke. Wow, you two really did go through a lot. So have you. Kushina added. You know. Naruto asked. Yes, we've known what's been happening to you as of late, including your banishment, and even your special power. Minato added. We're more sorry to see you were thrown out of the village like that Naruto, and to think we called it our home. Kushina said with a gripped fist. Naruto smiled, it's okay you guys, like I've said to many others, my banishment is actually liberation to me. And liberation is right, we've seen how you've been living it up when you left. Though did you have to dye your hair? You looked good with my hair color. Minato said. I know, I just decided to go with a different color, Naruto began, to help preserve my identity and to start a new life. He then felt Kushina pat his head. And I think you look wonderful with my family's scarlet-colored hair. Thanks Mom, Naruto smiled, by the way, you think it'd be possible if I rebuilt Uzushio as my own turf? Well if you think you can do it, you're welcome to try. Kushina answered. After all if anyone could restore it, I know it'll be you. Minato added. And I will, I'll make it even better than it ever was one day, I promise you both. The two smiled until they looked at each other, our time is almost up Kushina. You're right, we're almost out of chakra. Kushina added. Naruto was surprised, so what's going to happen to you now? We can finally be at peace now that we've seen you, and you know what you want to do. Kushina explained as she and Minato were growing transparent. Keep on training and aim for your new goals Naruto. And then you will truly find happiness. Minato added. Naruto smiled as he embraced his parents again, I don't know what to say, I love you two so much. And we love you, Naruto. Minato said. And we always will. Kushina said, kissing her son's forehead before the two vanished. Naruto then woke up in his bed at the inn, wow, all that really happened, he got out of bed and walked to the window looking up at the moon, Mom, Dad. I promise you I will find happiness. The very next morning Naruto flew out reaching Taki and found himself at the same entryway where he was first brought to the village, just like before entering. He went behind the waterfall and through the caves. He approached the small pools of water and braced himself, deep breath. He jumped in and started swimming through the waterway. By using his psychic power he was swimming through the tunnel like an actual fish. Finally in the village Naruto emerged from the huge lake taking in air. Well, that was a pleasant swim, wasn't it? Naruto asked Kurama. Just get out of the water, so you can dry off. Naruto swam for shore and started drying off. He looked at the village smiling, place looks like it's doing well. He then noticed the two kids he met the last time he was there, Hamamatsu and Shizuku. Hey there guys. He called. The two kids spun and saw who was approaching. Oh no, an intruder. Shizuku gasped. We gotta warn Shibuki. Hamamatsu added as they tried to run only for Naruto to appear before them. Whoa, hey, easy there guys. Don't you recognize me? We know you. Hamamatsu asked. Come on, I know I changed my hair color, but I half expected you guys to tell me right away. Naruto said with a grin. The two looked closer and gasped, Naruto. They tackled him to the ground. See, was that so hard? The red-haired boy asked. What are you doing here? Shizuku asked in joy. I just came for a visit and see how Shibuki is doing, Naruto began, and judging from how the village looks, he's doing a fine job in leading it. He sure is. Hamamatsu replied. Well, any chance I can see him, or is he too busy? Don't worry, Shibuki always has time for a friend who helped protect the village. Shizuku said as the two led him around the village. The two children finally led Naruto to Shibuki's building office, which wasn't particularly tall like Konoha's, it still stuck out from all the other buildings in the village. Well, this is it. Shizuku said. Thanks, kids, maybe I'll see you around later. Okay. They called while hurrying off. Naruto smirked as he levitated himself up to Shibuki's window, seeing him looking over some paperwork. Inside Shibuki sighed, I hope this is all for today, because I am exhausted. He suddenly heard a tapping sound. He turned to his window and nearly panicked when he saw Naruto, thinking he was an intruder just as the two kids thought he was. When he finally got a good look at him he sighed in relief, but was still surprised. Naruto? He asked, opening the window allowing Naruto inside. Hey Shibuki, been a long time. Wow, I almost didn't recognize you. What are you doing here? Coming for a visit, of course. Well, are Sakura and Sasuke with you? No, I'm afraid not, and there's a reason why. What is it? Well, I could tell you, but it's incredibly long, and you have lots of paperwork to finish. Naruto motioned to the stack. It can wait. Shibuki said. Alright, but you're not gonna like what I'm about to say, Naruto began as he pulled up a chair. He started telling Shibuki what's been happening with his life ever since he last saw him, and that's all there is to it. He finished. Naruto, I had no idea, Shibuki gasped, I mean, you and Sasuke fought side by side to protect the village like teammates should. How could this happen between you two? Blame it all on Sasuke's jealousy. Naruto answered. Well, I'm sorry your village acted biased towards you. It's no problem, I'm over it, and I'm having a better life outside the village than I did inside it. If you say so, but remember in Taki you will always be welcomed. Shibuki assured him. Thanks man. The two pounded it. They heard a knock at the door as Shibuki looked at the door, come in. Entering the room was a young girl about 2 years older than Naruto. She wore an orange clip in her short, spiky mint green hair that matched her eye color, that was also orange. Her outfit was composed of a short sleeveless white midriff shirt with fishnet armor underneath, long white armlets, and fishnet shorts with a short white apron skirt over it. Her forehead protector was worn on her right arm. Shibuki, I'm back from my mission. The girl spoke until she noticed Naruto. Oh, I didn't know you were entertaining. It's quite alright Fu, a job well done on your mission, Shibuki answered. Naruto looked back and forth between the two. Is someone going to introduce me or what? Oh sorry, Naruto, I'd like you to meet Fu, one of our top kunoichi, and Fu, this is Naruto, he's an old friend of mine. Nice to meet you. Naruto greeted the girl. Likewise. She smiled until she felt something stirring up inside of her, which Naruto also felt the same. Are you two okay? Is something wrong? Shibuki asked, seeing how tense they looked. I'm fine, Shibuki. Naruto answered. Me too, but listen, you mind if I have a word with Naruto? Fu asked. Not at all, just don't give him trouble. Shibuki warned her. Wouldn't think of it. Fu answered as she took Naruto's hand and dragged him off. Soon the two met by the big tree in the village. Alright, Naruto, Fu began, I assume you know why I wanted to talk to you privately. If I can guess, you felt something inside me? I did, just as you felt something inside me as well. She replied. Then you are what I am. Naruto said. And you are what I am as well. A Jinchuriki. They said together. Wow, and here I thought only the 5 great nations house Jinchuriki. Naruto said. So what nation are you housed in? She asked. More like released from, I came from Konoha. That village, huh? I hear it's gotten a lot of publicity as of late with certain events that happened. The last Chunin exams, the invasion from Oto and Suna, even the inauguration of Tsunade of the Sannin as the Gondai Mei Hokage. Yup, and you can thank me for bringing her back to the village. You brought back such a legendary ninja. Yup, I had to beat some sense into her to take the mantle. Get out, you're serious? I am. So then, why were you on your own? Fu asked. Well, I was banished. Banished? Why? Well, I'll tell you, but it's not happy. Naruto told her the story about how he came to be up until now, and there you have the story of my life. Fu, who listened through it all, was shocked and yet somewhat not surprised. I see, well Naruto, I know exactly how you feel about being treated like scum. Many people in the village have shunned me when I was announced as a Jinchuriki. I was teased, tormented, and just plain mocked. But you know, the older I got, the sooner I stopped giving a damn about what others thought of me, because I am who I am, and if they got a problem, well, they can just go to hell. Nice. Naruto chuckled with Fu. I'm just sorry you're not so lucky you ended up getting banished wrongfully. Thanks, but it's fine actually, because my banishment has given me a fresh start. How about you, are you still treated like shit here? Not as much as before, but some of the older folk are still superstitious of me. Well, like you said, it's their problem. Naruto replied. So, which of the demons you got? Fu asked. Why ask, we can just show each other. Naruto extended his hand out to the girl. Fu, not sure how this would work, took his hand, locking it with her own, and both were in the conjoint plane with Kurama behind Naruto, and behind Fu was a giant rhinoceros beetle, with 6 wings and 1 cerci acting as a 7th tail. Both humans gasped, seeing each other's demon behind them. Whoa, that's a big bug. Naruto gasped. And that's one big fox. Fu added. I am Kurama, nice to meet you. Chome, it's been so long. The fox said to the beetle. Indeed, Kurama. The beetle known as Chome answered. Let me see, Naruto added up the bug's tails. You're the Jinchuriki to the Shichibi. And I see 9 on yours, meaning you hold the Kyubi. Fu noticed. Yeah, and let me tell you, this is great now that I've met 3 fellow Jinchuriki. Naruto explained. 3? Chome asked. Yeah, Naruto and I ran into the holders for Shikaku and Saiken. All of which I can say are doing well with their containers. Kurama explained. I see. Chome answered. And now that I found another Jinchuriki, there is something I will have to warn you and Shibuki about. Naruto added. Warn us? The girl asked. Yeah, there are people after us. Dangerous people. How dangerous? So dangerous you wouldn't even think about leaving the village by yourself. Shibuki will want to hear about this. Fu understood. Soon the two Jinchuriki returned to Shibuki, having explained to him about them, realizing that they were both Jinchuriki. So what is this threat you're talking about, Naruto? Shibuki asked. Naruto looked at the guy and answered, Akatsuki. Akatsuki? The two Waterfall shinobi asked. Yes, an organization composed of Nukenin with one goal in mind, to collect the 9 bijou. I've only met 2 of them and they were no walk in the park. Okay, so how do we know who to keep an eye out for? Shibuki asked. Be wary of people who wear black cloaks with red clouds imprinted on them, and their village headbands have gashes across the symbols. I think I may know a character who could very well be part of this organization, only out of hunch though. Shibuki said. Who? Naruto asked. Shibuki looked through his references and pulled out an old book before flipping to a ninja's page. This guy here, Kakuzu. Shibuki pointed to a man with bulging green eyes, dark skin, a mask covering his mouth, and a hood on his head. According to history, long before my father was village leader, Kakuzu was sent to assassinate the Shodai Hokage but failed. Despite the danger he undertook, he returned home only to face punishment. In response to the treatment of a wrong levied against a shinobi who had put life on the line for his village, Kakuzu developed a violent hatred to his village and escaped from imprisonment. He then killed the village elders, took their hearts, and fled with knowledge of our village's most prized forbidden techniques. Took their hearts? Naruto asked in confusion, while Fu was even more confused as well. Yes, one of the secret techniques he stole allowed him to steal the hearts of others as well as their chakra elements through the use of tendrils that keep his body together. With that technique he has access to all 5 chakra elements. All 5? Whoa. Naruto gasped. No one from the village has seen or heard word of Kakuzu for years. The only other thing we know about him is that he enjoys making money, preferably through bounty hunting. You don't say. Well, looks like I got some competition. Naruto said the last part under his breath. If I were leading this Akatsuki organization, then he'd definitely be a ninja I'd want in my army. Shibuki said. I'd hate to think of what other Nukenin are involved in that organization. Fu added. Trust me, the 2 I met will knock you off your feet. Naruto replied. Well, enough about that. It's been a long day, Naruto, so how would you like to stay here in Taki at least for a day or 2? The leader offered. I'd actually like that, plus I can showcase my special talent here so I can earn some more cash. Special talent? Fu asked. Yeah, come with me and I'll show you. Naruto led them outside to a secluded area. So what is it we're going to see? Shibuki asked. A sneak peek performance of my magic show. Magic? Fu asked. That's right, Naruto donned his magician's outfit, for I am Magestro. Wait, that magician traveling the ninja land is you? Shibuki asked, having heard rumors of such a traveler. Oh yeah. He said as he started doing some of his magic acts. Shibuki and Fu gasped and applauded on Naruto's performance. Naruto, how are you doing that? Fu asked. It's magic, along with a little jutsu using, but don't tell anyone. Don't worry, we won't. Shibuki answered. Good, and this power of mine comes with other joys. Naruto said as he levitated himself up into the air. Meh, that's nothing, I can do that. Fu said as a pair of beetle wings came out of her back and she flew up to Naruto's level. Whoa, oh man, your Jinchuriki power enables you to do that? I'm fused with a beetle, remember? So now you know the joys of being able to fly. Fu said. Yeah, it's awesome. Alright, you two, come down before you're spotted. Shibuki called as the 2 descended. Well, Naruto, you put on that magic show here, and you're bound to attract an audience. Fu said. That's just what I'm hoping for. Later that day, when Naruto was performing as Magestro, nearly the whole village turned up for his performance. Up front, Shizuku and Himatsu were applauding like the excited children they were. Man, Magestro is one cool magician. Himatsu said. Yeah, first we see Naruto again, and now this spectacular show. Shizuku asked. Wonder where Naruto is? Himatsu looked around. There. Shizuku said as Naruto sat down. Hey guys, did I miss anything? He asked. Only the first 2 tricks, but the good ones are coming up. Shizuku said. Cool. Naruto said when in reality it had been a clone Naruto put in to not draw attention to himself. Soon it was the end of the day and Naruto was in his guest room at Shibuki's place counting up his earnings. Man, I love my job. He suddenly heard tapping on his window and he saw Fu outside it with her bijou wings out. Fu. He opened it. What's up? I just thought since it's nighttime, you want to go for a fly together. Really? Yeah, seeing as how you can fly on your own I don't have to carry you up. Well, alright. Naruto said as he packed his money away and went out the window flying around with Fu through the night sky above the village. Wanna go higher up? She asked. You mean past the tree? Yeah, it's all one big canopy that covers our whole village. Awesome, well let's go. Naruto said as the 2 flew upward and past all the branches and leaves before finally reaching outside the village. How'd you like that? Fu asked. Not bad, though I've flown higher than that before. Naruto admitted. I'll take your word for it. Fu replied as they remained airborne while looking up at the starry sky. Nice night isn't it? Naruto asked. Yeah, with such a big tree it's hard for us to truly see this. Fu admitted. Well, with my abilities I've seen the night sky closer than I ever thought I would. The boy added. Naruto. Do you think there is a hope for us? For Jinchuriki, since there's an organization after what we carry? Fu asked. I honestly don't know, but I do know it all depends on the Jinchuriki themselves. Me, you, Gaara, Utakata, and all the other Jinchuriki have to aim for our future. It won't be easy with criminals like the Akatsuki somewhere out there. He then took Fu's hands with his own, but as long as we remain strong, and never give up on what we believe. I believe there will be a future for all of us. Fu smiled. You know, I believe you're right. She embraced Naruto, who returned the gesture while they continued to remain airborne in front of the moonlight. 2 days later Naruto had stuck around Taki for fun, but now it was time for him to go. He stood by the water as Shibuki, Fu, Himatsu, and Shizuku were seeing him off. Do you really have to go, Naruto? Himatsu asked. Yeah, stay here and have some more fun with us. Shizuku pleaded. Thanks for the offer guys, but I got my own path to follow. He ruffled their heads, but don't be sad, I'll come back. I promise. Okay. They replied. Be careful out there, Naruto. Shibuki said. And don't forget to write. Fu added. You got it guys, well, time to go. Naruto jumped into the lake and went back the way he came, exiting out of the waterfall. Well, that was a nice visit. Now where do I go next? Naruto asked himself before suddenly he vanished in a poof of smoke. Suddenly Naruto reappeared in a large, rich, and beautiful land with giant leaves and trees, with numerous sized toads laying about. What the, where am I? Naruto gasped at his surroundings. Yo Naruto! A voice called. Naruto turned and saw his favorite toad Gamakichi. Gamakichi. I was the one who summoned you here, glad you made it in one piece. Gamakichi said. But where's here exactly? Naruto asked. This is Mount Myoboku, home to us toads. Gamakichi explained. Some place you got here. Naruto looked around. Well, it's paradise to us. The toad said as he hopped on top of a boulder. So why'd you bring me here anyway? Naruto asked. Because I ordered him ta, Naruto boy. An old geezer's voice was heard. Naruto looked around seeing where that voice was coming from but saw nothing. Down here, boy. Naruto looked down at his feet seeing a small green old aged toad wearing a small cloak. Whoa, who are you? I be Lord Fukasaku, one of the great toad sages of Mount Myoboku. A geezer sage? Naruto asked. Naruto. Gamakichi called, you'd be wise to show him some respect, Gramps is even stronger than Pops. Stronger than Bunta? Naruto asked looking down at the small toad wondering how it was possible. That'd be true, in fact I'm the one who made dear old Jiraiya boy into the strong shinobi that he is today. Fukasaku explained. Boy. Naruto gasped, hey geezer toad, who do you think you are treating Ero-sennin like a kid? Naruto, didn't you hear what I just said about respect? Gamakichi sighed until the two heard a laugh coming from the old toad. Ero-sennin eh? What a fitting nickname for Jiraiya boy. Alright, so what do you want with me? Naruto asked. Well Naruto boy, Jiraiya boy told me of your banishment from Konoha and wanted me to continue where he left off with your training. Continue where he left off? Naruto asked. That's right, it's time you took another step in training with us toads, in the art of sage jutsu. What? Naruto asked. One afternoon by a port in the land of fire stood Kakashi, Guy, Asuma, Kurenai, and their squads. The rookies looked much older and different from how they originally looked. Sakura still had her pink hair shortened, a red top, with black gloves, black high-heeled boots, black shorts, short pink apron-like skirt, pink elbow protectors, and her headband cloth was colored red. Lee wore the same leotard only he wore the Konoha flak jacket over it. Tenten now sported dark red Chinese pants, and a long white-sleeved Chinese shirt. Neji had worn a long white shirt and dark pants. Shikamaru was taller and started dressing like one of the regular jonin and had his metal head plate sewn to one of his sleeves. Ino still had her long blonde hair in a ponytail, and had a remarkable chest that just stuck out, and just as she's always been seen wearing purple she continued to do so, only the bandages around her waist and the fabric armwear on her elbows were removed, and replacing the armwear was fishnet and also wore fishnet over her knees. Chuji now sported a red top with armor on his torso, arms, and upper legs. On the front of his chest armor was the obligatory kanji 4 Geet, and his brown hair was longer. Kiba wore a black jacket and pants with a black forehead protector and black sandals, and his dog Akamaru was about the size of a large wolf. Hinata grew her hair to waist length, with straight-cut bangs that conceal her forehead. The chin-length strands that framed her face still remained, but were less obvious due to her longer hairstyle. She was wearing a white and lavender zip-up sweater with navy pants and black sandals, and her forehead protector's cloth changed from blue to black. What many would not know that beneath her jacket she supported a bigger rack than Ino. Shino wore an even heavier jacket hanging down to his knees and the addition of a hood that obstructed his face even more, and a satchel on his back containing his insects. Well guys, our next boat should be arriving soon. Kakashi explained. I can't believe Tsunade-sama would just give us the day off like this. Neji said in disbelief. Well, we have been working hard the last few weeks. Tenten replied. Yeah, this is something we all could use. Sakura added. I hope this place we're going to has some good food. Chuji said while salivating. It's always with your stomach, Chuji. Ino sighed. Shikamaru yawned, troublesome. Suddenly they heard an explosion coming from the forest behind them. What was that? Lee asked. I don't know, we'll check it out. Neji said as he and Hinata activated their Byakugan eyes and saw a fight going on between various ninja. Looks like some sort of fight's broken out. Hinata said. Should we do something about it? Kiba asked. I don't think so Kiba, remember we shouldn't meddle in the affair of others. Kurenai added. She's right. Kakashi replied until Neji spoke. Hold it, one of the chakra signatures from one of fighters looks familiar. The huge EA boy and Hinata continued to observe the fight as Hinata spoke. You're right, it is familiar. How familiar? Lee asked. Like someone we used to know. Neji said. It might be him. Hinata called as she started hurrying. Hinata. Kiba called as they all started following her and Niji, who led them to the forest. Soon they stopped as they looked ahead, seeing several ninja bandits fighting against one guy. The guy they were fighting wore black shinobi sandals, long blue cargo pants, a black short-sleeved shirt with red flame patterns, a black unzipped flak vest, and a brown cloak with the hood up. They watched as he was fighting against the bandits like they were children. That guy's taijutsu is impressive, Guy admitted. Who is he, and why are those guys fighting him? Sakura asked. They gasped in shock as the cloaked stranger jumped up and levitated before flying at one of the bandits, tackling him into another. When one bandit tried to go at him from behind, he froze and was levitated upward before being flung into a tree. What's going on? Ino gasped. How did that ninja get thrown like that? Tenten asked. They continued to watch as cloaked stranger concentrated and all the bandits flew at each other like they were stuck before a rope went at them and tied them all together, making it impossible for them to escape, and were mouth gagged so they wouldn't scream. Well, that takes care of you lot, and now it's time for me to collect my fee, the stranger said before stopping, but first you can all come out now. I know you're there. He extended his hand and the bushes that were hiding them started spreading, leaving them exposed. How did you know we were here? Asuma asked curiously. I could feel it. He replied. What did those ninja want with you? Kurenai asked. They didn't want anything with me, I had something with them. What do you mean? Kakashi asked. These bandits have been causing trouble in the town close by. So I decided to catch them for the reward granted to whoever could bring them in. But how did you do that stuff without actually touching them? Chuji asked. My own abilities. He answered and was about to leave until Hinata spoke. Wait, Niji, and I know it's you, so please don't leave right away. The stranger looked back at them with a visible smile under his hood. Guess there is no fooling your eyes, is there? Well, since it's just you guys, I guess I can spare a few moments. After all, it's been years. The group was confused until the stranger pulled down his hood, revealing to them it was their old comrade Naruto. Though they almost didn't see it due to his red-colored hair, but knew from the birthmarks on his face. Naruto? Sakura and Kakashi gasped. Hey guys, what's up? He asked casually. Naruto. His old fellow rookies called as they ran over to him, bombarding him with questions. Naruto tried to answer, but because they wouldn't give them a chance, he used his ability to push them all back to give him some personal space. One at a time, you guys, one at a time. Naruto, is that really you? Kakashi asked. The one and only Kakashi. He answered, since he no longer has to refer to him or his fellow Jonin as sensei anymore. What did you do to your hair? Ino asked. Dyed it, what do you think? It looks good. Who would have thought red would be a good color for you? Ino admitted. Wow, you look like you've been doing very well. Chuji admitted. Thanks Chuji, you all look like you've been doing well too. Well, it was hard to deal with you not being in the village. Shikamaru replied. Yeah, not as exciting as it used to be. Tenten added. I'll bet, Naruto replied. How's Basan and Shizunene? They're okay, both of them really miss you, just like Jiraiya. Kakashi answered. I feel the same way about them. Naruto replied. We've been following up on your letters for the last 3 years, is it true what you've been doing? Hinata asked. Oh yeah, every word of it. Naruto, those attacks and stunts you pulled back there, how did you do it? Niji asked. Like I said Niji, I have my own abilities now. But how did you do it? Kiba asked. Naruto smirked, deciding to humor him. It's simple Kiba. You just think many wonderful thoughts. And up you go. He hovered up above them, making them gasp. Naruto, you're really flying. Lee called. It's that simple. Kiba asked as he thought of his best wonderful thought, and when he tried to take off with a jump he only landed flat on his face. Hey, it didn't work. You realize he was just pulling your leg, Kiba? Shino asked. He was. He asked until he shook it off. I mean, of course he was. I was only humoring him. Naruto, how are you able to do that? Sakura asked. Simple, I'm psychic. Psychic, since when? Ino asked. For 3 years now. Naruto said as he continued hovering around. Did this occur when you were banished? Kakashi asked. Possibly, look, I'll tell you later. Right now I got to cash these guys in for my fee. Naruto summoned a clone that took the bounded bandits back to town. Naruto, what's happened to you? Sakura asked. A lot of things, Sakura, and in my case it was a must-needed improvement. Weren't you at all lonely? Hinata asked. Of course I was, but I wasn't about to let being lonely make me feel all depressed. Sure, I can't go back to Konoha, but trust me, this is liberation. He floated around them in a circle. I live with no worries, no responsibilities. I'm free to do what I want and how I want it. Sounds like my kind of life. Shikamaru replied. So what brings all of you out here together? Naruto asked as he touched back down. Well, we were waiting for our boat to arrive. Kakashi began until Sakura and Ino cried. The boat. They all started running back with Naruto following them. When they returned to the port they saw their boat had already departed. No. Sakura and Ino cried. That was our boat ride. Tenten said in horror. And the next one won't be for another hour. Kiba added. And that's a problem? Naruto asked. We have reservations at a special inn on another island. If we wait another hour they might pass our rooms off to someone else. Ino explained. Where are you guys going anyway? We were supposed to be staying at the Lihua Inn on the next island. Sakura explained. Lihua Inn? Naruto asked. That's right. Kakashi answered. Naruto smiled, then maybe I can help you. Help us, how? Shino asked until Naruto's clone returned and handed him his earned money. After dispelling his clone he looked at the money. Perfect, they didn't think out on the deal. Naruto. Hinata said. About what you were saying with helping us get to the inn? Kurenai asked. Oh right, Naruto continued, I see the only way to get you all there is to fly you there myself. Fly us? Chuji asked. By yourself? Lee asked. No, not by myself. Naruto said as he summoned a number of clones. Each clone got behind each of the Konoha shinobi with their arms under them while two held onto Akamaru. Okay everyone, I'm going to have to ask you all to not squirm or move around a lot. Just don't drop any of us. Kakashi said, making the younger Kunoichi worried. Trust me, you're in good hands. Naruto replied as he flew up with his clones carrying his old comrades as well. And away we go. Naruto's clones called as they all flew off across the sea with some of the old rookies cheering and whooping at how exciting it felt to actually be flying in the sky. This is awesome. Kiba cried. I'm soaring just like a bird. Lee cheered. Naruto, do you do this every day? Tenten asked. On a daily basis. Naruto's clone answered. It's the fastest way I've ever been able to travel the ninja land. Another clone added. As they continued flying across the sea the real Naruto flew closer to Sakura and Kakashi, so I guess Squad 7 is no more now that I'm gone and Sasuke's still in lockup. I'm afraid so. Kakashi answered. How is he anyway? Sasuke. Well, he has spoken a word to anyone since he was put in lockup. Sakura answered. Stubborn ass as always. Naruto replied. So with no Team 7 I officially became an apprentice to Tsunade-sama, and occasionally I would be sent out on a mission with Kakashi-sensei, or any of the other squads if they needed an extra hand. Apprentice to Ba-san, what's her training like? Naruto asked, eager to hear what Jiraiya's teammate is like when training an apprentice. It was traumatizing, Sakura began in fright, the exercises she put me through, I felt like I was going to die. However, in the end I managed to learn medical jutsu to an impressive degree, but I'm still nowhere near Shizune's level. She's also taught her how to use her strength to a degree like her own. Kakashi added. Seriously? Naruto asked Sakura, who nodded with a smile. Well, I'm glad to see you're doing okay. Naruto admitted. And I will also admit it, Naruto, I really do miss having you in Konoha. Sakura replied. Thanks, but like I said, I'm doing okay on my own, as you saw in my letters. Bounty hunting, banjo playing, and magic acts, you really are multitasking. Kakashi said. Your magic wouldn't possibly have anything to do with your abilities, would it? Sakura asked until Naruto looked down, seeing an island. Well, look there, we've arrived at our destination. He called to his clones, dive. Taking his lead, each of his clones started diving downward while the Konoha shinobi screamed until they touched back down onto the land. Naruto dispelled his clones and spoke, well guys, what did you think? That was, quite an experience. Neji replied. It was wild. Tenten panted in excitement. I truly envy you, Naruto. Kiba said. Heard it before. Well, come on, if we don't get to the inn on time we might lose our reservation to someone else. Asuma said as they started trekking until they reached a beautiful and exquisite inn. That's it. Kurenai said. Wow, it's even better than the brochure said it was. Ino gasped. Well, come on, let's go in. Kakashi said as they entered and were greeted by two women. The first was a woman in her late 30s with black hair that had a tint of purple that she kept tied up, but was most alluring about her was that she supported a 98 centimeters bust. Her outfit was composed of a very short purple Chinese dress that showed her cleavage and navel. With her was a girl that was shorter than the woman and looked to be 19. She had large, golden eyes and short black hair with short thick bangs, which was done up with long braids and cat-like hair buns, and supported an 85 centimeters bust. She wore a short black and lavender cheongsam that was decorated with dark pink petals. Over it, she wore a short, blue jacket and she also had black, thigh tights. Welcome to the Lihua Inn, my name is Mingzhu, and this is my darling daughter Chao. The woman held the younger girl close. Please leave your shoes here. Chao ordered. Arigato, we have a reservation from Konoha under the Gondai Mei Hokage's name Tsunade. Kakashi said. Ah yes, of course. You arrived on time. Mingzhu answered. Hey, Mingzhu. Chao. You girls are looking lively. The mother and daughter were surprised hearing that voice as Naruto walked from the crowd of ninja. Yo. Naruto. Mingzhu gasped. We didn't know you were coming. Chao blushed in surprise. I wasn't, but my old friends here missed their boat so I had to help get them here. This is wonderful. Chao, call up the girls and tell them to prepare a big feast for our special guests. Mingzhu ordered. Of course, mother. Chao went to the intercom, everyone to the lobby, our guests from Konoha have arrived. Naruto is also among them. Suddenly the ninja could feel the floor shake and suddenly running into the foyer were multiple teenage girls with their hair done in up panda buns like Tenten's, only they wore bun caps and Chinese dresses ranging from every color, Naruto-sama. They cried as they arrived and started mob cuddling him right from left while Naruto seemed okay with it, like he was expecting it. What the hell is this? Kiba asked in outrage. Naruto with all the luck in the world. Chuji groaned. The girls were just downright shocked at what all the workers were doing until Naruto climbed out of the mob. Arigato girls, for the welcome as you've always done. Naruto, is there something you haven't told us? Sakura asked, a little irked seeing her old teammate was being swarmed by multiple of girls like some playboy, remembering Tsunade tell her this was what Jiraiya is like and saw he rubbed off on her former teammate. Sorry guys, but the fact is I've come here multiple times in the last 3 years, Naruto explained, but I'll tell you after we have something to eat. All that flying left me famished. Soon a dinner was prepared as they were sitting in the dining hall at a table with Naruto taking a sip of a drink while Chao was hanging on him with her arms draping down his torso while resting her head on his shoulder. The guys watching this just thought this was plain teasing them. So you've been here before, Naruto? Kakashi asked. Oh yeah, first time I came here I was just taking a break from my travels. The people here were very hospitable, I tell you. Obviously. Sakura replied, seeing how the girls clung to him and the way Chao was acting with him now. Well, one night some Nuknin tried to rob the place, but me and Chao here took them on like they were nothing. You can fight, Chao? Ino asked. Yes, my mother trained me herself. Chao answered. She's very skilled in hand-to-hand combat, and the way she performs with her trademark twin clubs is astounding. Naruto explained. You're the astounding one, Naruto. Chao said, and he smiled. Thanks. So afterwards Chao's mom granted me a special pass to this place to thank me for saving hers and Chao's home. He's also performed numerous magic shows and banjo playings here whenever he can. Chao added. The pay is worth it, Naruto replied with a chuckle. So what else is going on in the village? How's Konohamaru doing? Well, he's a ninja now with his friends under Ebisu's command. Kakashi answered. He still has his eyes set on becoming Hokage in honor of you. Sakura added. Oh, that Konohamaru. Naruto chuckled. Tuchi and I miss you as well, said business just hasn't truly been the same since you were gone. Chuji added. Poor guys. Naruto sighed. Even Iruka worries about you. Kakashi said. I see, well I worry about him and all of you as well. Though I've made a lot of other friends while during my travels. Mingzhu approached. Hello, everyone, enjoying your dinner I hope. Yes, thank you. They replied. That's good, after you're finished you can all get cleaned up in our indoor springs. An indoor bath? Ino gasped in joy. Wow, I can't wait. Tenten cheered. And Naruto, do you wish to use our private spring? Mingzhu asked while Chao waited for his answer. Naruto noticed everyone was eyeballing him suspiciously about using a private spring until he spoke. Actually, I think I'll just go with the regular bath. Soon enough inside the indoor springs on the men's side, all the boys were relaxing as Naruto was using his powers to levitate the soap towards his body without him having to move. Man, it must be cool having such an ability like that, Naruto. Chuji said. It does have its perks, but the occasional drawback as well, at least back when I started out when using it. Drawback? Shino asked. Back then if I overexerted how hard I use my ability I'd get nosebleeds, left my face messy. How could you overexert your power? Shikamaru asked. Well, speaking back when I first started using this power I'd try levitating something incredibly big that I'm not used to lifting. If I try overdoing it I'd nosebleed. It happened in other instances when I used it on people, preferably when I used it to break their bones and all. Break their bones? Niji asked. Don't worry, I only do that when I'm hunting for bounty. I've never used it on the innocent. But listen guys, there's something I really have to tell you all privately. Naruto whispered. What is it? Shikamaru asked. I've been hunted ever since I was banished. Hunted, by who? Asuma asked. Naruto prepared himself and told his fellow men about what happened since he left, and when he finished they were surprised. I knew Danzo wouldn't get you banished just so you could be out of the village. Kakashi said. Because now that you're no longer a ninja of Konoha he can hunt you with no fear of being charged as a murderer. Asuma added. I can't believe he's been doing that for years. Why didn't you send us a letter saying that? Kiba asked. Like it would have mattered, Danzo's good at covering his tracks, and besides his root Umbu don't stand a chance against me. Even so Naruto, Tsunade would have kept a closer eye on Danzo. Kakashi said. She has enough on her plate already, I didn't want to put any more problems on her shoulders. Putting others before yourself Naruto, you really do have more heart than any ninja I've ever known. Kakashi said. Thanks. Say after the bath I promised Mingzhu I'd put on my magic show for her guests. You guys wanna watch it? Well, we can't exactly call it magic since we can tell it comes from your. Kiba began but Naruto clamped his mouth shut. Shut it. The walls have ears too. Even if we know the secret, the fact he's able to make it happen still is enjoyable. Lee said. Thank you, Lee. Naruto replied. On the women's side, all the girls were relaxing as they soaked in the springs with Chao accompanying them. What was Naruto like when you all knew him? Chao asked. Well, he was loud and annoying. Sakura began. Quite a troublemaker as well. Ino added. I see. Chao said. But he was much more than that. Hinata countered, not wanting his bad points to change the girls' opinion of him. Yeah, he was also dedicated. Eager to prove himself to everyone. Tenten added. Yeah, he's one hell of a fighter, even back then he refused to back down or give in. Sakura agreed. He even saved our village when it was invaded once. Ino added. Then he's a hero. Chao said. Yeah, but not many were appreciative for what happened. Kurenai said. Do any of you like him? Chao asked while the girls were taken aback. Like him? Sakura asked. Yes. Well, he's my friend and old teammate, but I wished I treated him a lot better when we started out. Sakura admitted. Same here, but I treated him better than Sakura, even by a smidge. Ino added. At first I thought he was just fooling himself when he was made to fight Niji in the Chunin exam finals, Tenten began, but he proved me wrong when he defeated Niji. He reminds me of my teammate Lee. She smiled. Hinata spoke up, I've always loved Naruto. He helped me against some bullies even though my guard told me to stay away from him. Whenever I'd see him get back up and keep trying no matter what comes in his path, it just fills me with such admiration. When he left I told him my feelings. I even kissed him. Bold move, you know I did too. Chao admitted. You kissed Naruto? Ino gasped. Yes, he was very good at it. Did you think so, Hinata? Chao asked. Oh yes, it was the best first kiss I could have ever asked for. The Hyuga girl admitted. Wow, now I wish I kissed him as well. Ino said. So do I, Tenten added. Well, while you're staying here you might be able to get a chance to. Chao said. You think? Ino asked. Well, if you can get alone with him. Ino, Tenten, and Hinata looked determined while Sakura and Kurenai could sense their determination. Later that night Naruto was performing his magic show using his trademark alias and disguise. While the Konoha shinobi knew he was using his powers for most of his acts, they were still impressed that he was able to make it happen, and didn't want to spoil anything or reveal his identity to the other guests staying at the inn. After the performance it was lights out and Naruto was taken to his complimentary room where he slept in his canopy bed in his boxer shorts. Man, I love this place. He smiled to himself. Suddenly he heard something crawl into bed. He looked ahead seeing a giant bulge under the covers crawl close to him. He got out from under the covers and smirked, poking at the bulge, and heard a moan. Naruto, I see you still haven't lost your daringness. A voice said as the covers opened up and Naruto saw Chao wearing seductive purple lingerie. And as always, you have boldness. Naruto chuckled. I only show it with you. She replied as she crawled over, wrapping her right arm around Naruto, who in turn wrapped his own right arm around her waist. You're lucky I'm not sharing a room with any of the guys, because it would seriously make things awkward. He joked. I know. Chao laid her head into his chest. So you talk to the girls, what do you think of them? Naruto asked. They're all interesting ones. And if I were you I'd be careful around Hinata, Tenten, and Ino. I believe while during their stay and your visit, they may try to get alone with you. Well, let them, I haven't seen them in so long. I'm interested to see what methods they try to use. Chao smiled as she pulled her head from his chest and took his hand. I'm so glad you came today, Naruto. With you traveling around the ninja land we never know when you're going to show up here. When you show up out of the bloom, my heart just races like crazy. See? She asked, laying his hand on her left breast, making him tense up before accepting it. I really find it hard to imagine you were still the same cold-faced expression girl when I first met you. Was I that stone-faced? Chao asked. Not once during my first time I came here did you ever smile, and when we fought those nuke ninja I could see you finally smiling and it was beautiful. Well, I never saw someone like you fight with such passion or at my speed, she began. When he fought side by side it felt like ballet. Our teamwork overpowered the nuke nin, like we were meant to be a tag team duo. So you first liked me because of my combat skills? That was the start actually, but afterwards when you started talking more and more to me I tried to understand you. Now look at me, making moves on such a handsome guy. Yeah, if I touched you in this spot before that you probably would have tried to deck me. They chuckled. Maybe, not so much, she smiled and removed his hand from her chest. Now then, let's have some of our private time. Naruto watched as she hefted her right breast up. You want to start with the right side? She then did the same for her left breast, or maybe the left. Naruto hadn't answered until Chao put her hands under both her breasts giving him full view of her cleavage. Or would you like to go straight into the valley? Valley please. He smiled with excitement and found her putting her hands on his cheeks. A good choice. She pulled his face into the valley of her breasts where enjoyed the soft warm welcome into it. Walking outside the room, Mingzhu was walking by and could hear moans coming from inside. She giggled, oh those wild and crazy kids. I still wish Naruto was older. She walked away not wanting to disturb them. The very next morning the Konoha squads were up and having breakfast at the table. Sakura looked around the table and saw no sign of her old teammate. Anybody seen Naruto this morning? Nope. Shikamaru yawned. I'm afraid not. Tenten said. You think he left early? Hinata asked. Don't worry about Naruto, Mingzhu came in, he's just out back training with my workers. Training? Kakashi asked intrigued. Oh yes, you see Chao used to be the only one who would train the girls in the art of combat. When Naruto showed up and protected the inn, the girls became even more interested to learn combat. She blushed and smiled at them. Of course, that's not the only reason they wanted to learn under Naruto as well. Kakashi thought, Jiraiya-sama, if only you could see Naruto now. When everyone was finished they went out back to see Naruto and Chao sparring with the workers. Naruto, who wasn't even using his psychic powers against the girls, was still proving well, but every so often one of the workers would manage to land a hit on him. The groups watched while the Jonin were impressed. Naruto really has been keeping up with his training as of late. Asuma admitted. Indeed, even a banned ninja like Naruto would not let his youthful energy squander. Guy ranted until Kakashi spoke. Did you say something, Guy? He asked as Guy's face faltered. Naruto finished working with the last of the workers. That's good work ladies, but remember to keep up with your training as you've always been. Hi, Naruto-sama. The girls bowed their heads and returned to work. Naruto and Chao noticed the group was watching them as Kakashi spoke. Very impressive, Naruto. Well, thanks Kakashi, I try my best. Naruto said while toweling off. Who would have thought you went from a knucklehead teaching Konohamaru your trademark Oryoku no Jutsu to teaching hand-to-hand combat to young ladies? Sakura said. I'm not completely the same as I once was, Sakura, remember? Naruto reminded her and she nodded. I don't get it, why didn't you just use your special ability while sparring? Kiba asked. Kiba, I'm not going to use my powers on them because they're not my enemies. Naruto replied. And that would be unfair. Chao added. Just what else have you been learning? Niji asked. Well, 3 years ago I learned a particular brand of jutsu that apparently Ero Sennin was able to master up at Mount Myoboku, home of the toads. Jutsu no by Jiraiya-sama? Kurenai asked. Oh yeah, it's called Sage Jutsu. Sage Jutsu? They asked. Oh and let me tell you, learning it wasn't completely easy. Can you show us? Ino asked. Very well. Naruto stood completely still while focusing. Everyone watched Naruto concentrate until they saw the outlines around his eyes started turning orange, and when he opened them his eyes appeared amphibian-like. Whoa, Naruto, put some sunglasses on please. Kiba gagged. Kiba, don't be rude. Shino replied. Naruto, how did you do that? Hinata asked, and he explained. In order to learn Sage Jutsu, a ninja must learn how to take in the natural energy that's around them by standing completely still with no movement at all. However, the ninja must balance natural energy with the physical and spiritual energy they possess in order to use Sage Chakra. Balancing these three energies together is extremely difficult. Taking in too little natural energy will not work, but taking in too much will make the ninja undergo a transformation into frog-like until it ends up turning you to stone, ultimately making you one with nature. Yikes! Ino gasped. Yeah, I even tried using my powers to hold my muscles still, although that was a theoretical test. The real thing I used for helping me learn it was toad oil, and that sure helped a lot. So what can you do in this Sage mode? Chuji asked. With this mode my senses are stronger along with physical strength and speed, and with my powers I can fly faster than anything. You'd blink and I'd be gone, not to mention it makes my jutsu more powerful. Man, and I thought sensei's training was hard work. Tenten said. How long did you stay up at Mount Myoboku to learn it? Asuma asked. For a few months actually, he began. It took me only a few weeks to get Sage Jutsu down, but I stayed a bit longer just so I can get to know more about Ero Sennin from Geezer Sage Fukasaku and Granny Shima. And? Kakashi asked. He was more like me than he ever decided to tell me. How much different has Sage Jutsu affected your regular jutsu? Niji asked. Well, take a look. Naruto said, holding out his hand, and a Rasengan started forming, but to their surprise it started increasing in size and soon he was holding a wrecking ball-sized Rasengan. Holy shit! Kiba gasped. Look at the size of that thing. Chuji dropped his chips. And Naruto's holding it like it's weightless. Shikamaru added. I can't imagine anyone surviving from getting hit by that. Kurenai put in. Naruto smirked and looked by some of the forest trees and flew at one, calling out, Senpu, Cho Udama Rasengan, Hermit Art, Ultra Big Ball Spiral Sphere. He slammed it into the trees, which spread it further, destroying more and more trees, leaving a very long path of destruction through the forest. Whoa! The girls gasped. All of a sudden I feel very inferior. Kiba said while Akamaru whimpered. Naruto ended Sage mode and sat down with them. Yup, training up in the Toad's place was quite an experience. Geezer Toad even offered me a permanent home up there so that not even Danzo and his flunkies could ever find me. I didn't take it. You didn't? Sakura asked. Nope, granted that place would be considered a paradise. All I felt like was an animal kept in a cage with no connection to the outside world. Plus I would not be able to eat Granny Shima's bug food for the rest of my life. Bug food? Shino asked, not liking the sound of that. Don't ask, Naruto replied, well, I'm going out for a walk, be back later. Naruto said as he ran off. He really seems happy with himself. Shikamaru said. Have you ever seen him this happy at all? Ino asked. Never. Shino answered. Well, Naruto hasn't always been happy some of the times we've seen him. Mingju said. He hasn't? Sakura asked. Even though he's glad he doesn't have to deal with biased people anymore, he still would occasionally talk to us about how he misses the people he did care about in Konoha. The woman explained. Well, we're glad to see you, your daughter, and who knows how many others Naruto met over the years to make him feel like a person just as we have. Kakashi said. I just don't see how half the people where you live could ever let someone so pure like him go. Mingju said as she and Chao watched Naruto in the distance. Later Naruto was by a waterfall swimming around in his boxers while his other clothes were in a pile off to the side. Ah yes, this is relaxing. He called while doing some strokes. Kurama thought to him, so 3 years since you've seen your old friends and senseis. How does it make you feel? Feels great. I'm glad to see they've been doing okay just like I am. I'm sure when they return to Konoha and tell Tsunade and Jiraiya about your condition they'll be hammering the group with questions. I wish I could see it. Naruto chuckled in his thoughts. Though I must ask, now that you've seen them all again, will you be at peace even more knowing that they're still alive and thinking about you? I will, because I've also been worrying about them when I left for my own reasons. One of which being if Danzo attempted to set them up to draw me out, but he wouldn't be able to do that as long as Basan calls the shots with them. It seems you will be experiencing company in a moment, Naruto, but not an enemy. Naruto, curious as to what company Kurama meant by until he looked ahead seeing Hinata walking along. Hey Hinata. He called out. Naruto. She went over but noticed where he was and what was in a pile before her. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were. Relax Hinata, I'm still decent. He assured her. Hinata relaxed, alright. Sorry, but I just wanted to see what you were up to. I figured you wouldn't still be training after the exercise you were doing back at the inn. Yeah, so I came here for a dip, and it's relaxing, Naruto said as he swam. If you want you can come and join me. He offered. Hinata blushed at the offer but spoke, well, I didn't exactly bring anything with me, would it be okay if I swam in my underwear like you? Hey, if you don't mind getting them wet. Naruto replied. I don't. Hinata said as she began to unbutton her jacket. Whoop, better turn around. Naruto said as he was about to look away until Hinata spoke. Wait Naruto. I don't mind if you look. Naruto did a double take. What? I don't have a problem with you watching me undress. Hinata said. Naruto thought, whoa, the Hinata I knew would never have been able to say that to my face without fainting. Seems the heiress has changed in more ways than one. Clearly, Naruto thought back as he watched Hinata finish undressing and stood in a white bra and matching cotton panties. Naruto's eyes wandered her whole body, marveling at her flawless curves and enormous breasts. Shit, those things are bigger than my hands. He thought while feeling himself grow stiff in the water. Hinata continued to blush while putting her hands behind her back. Does it look okay? Naruto smiled. Of course, you look hot. Hinata gasped, he thinks I look hot. That's it, there's no way I can back down now. I haven't seen Naruto in 3 years. So it's now or never. She thought. Well, you coming in or what? He asked. Coming. She said as she jumped into the water. Naruto chuckled as a bit of water splashed on him. Suddenly Hinata rose up from the water with her long wet hair flowing down her back. Naruto gazed upon her and noticed he was already able to see through her wet bra and felt mesmerized seeing her erect nipples behind the wet fabric. Water is definitely cold. Hinata said. I know. Naruto chuckled, followed by her as well. The two started swimming as Naruto spoke up, so how's your family? Still having tension between both houses? Not at all now, Hinata replied, through careful negotiating me, my father, and Niji have been able to bring peace to both the main and branch families. So there's no more tension? Naruto asked. No, we fight as equals now. She replied. Well, looks like you and Niji were able to do what I failed to promise. Naruto said, feeling a bit guilty. Naruto, you have nothing to be ashamed about, Hinata said, swimming over to him. If it weren't for you, Niji would never have changed and things would still be the way they used to be between our clan houses. So you see, you already helped change our clan by opening Niji's eyes. She got behind him and laid her hands on his shoulders. Naruto smiled, well, I guess you're right. I did do something after all. Suddenly he felt Hinata's breasts press into his back as she hugged him from behind. You did more than anyone could ever have asked you, Naruto. Hinata said while laying her head on his shoulder. Naruto blushed, oh man, her breasts feel even squishier than they looked. He thought. You're lucky you started reading your sensei's books years ago, or you would have no idea what to do when a woman gives you hints like this. Yeah, I can't believe I've been giving Ero Sennin such a hard time about his books when I haven't even read them close enough to appreciate it. So what are you going to do now? Use his books to my advantage right now. Hinata was curious as to why Naruto was being so quiet. Spoke, Naruto, are you alright? Naruto turned around, surprising Hinata as he gazed into her pale eyes. "Hinata, do you trust me?" "What, Naruto?" "I said, do you trust me?" Hinata looked into Naruto's eyes and could tell he was serious with his question. "Of course." Naruto smiled. "Then please allow me to help you relax." He wrapped his arms around Hinata, pulling her closer. His hands made it to her bra and he gently unhooked it. Hinata gasped as Naruto removed her bra, exposing her breasts in a full view. "Hinata, I see you've been keeping secrets." He noted her mounds. Hinata blushed. "Well, I try not to expose them. I'm not one to show off such things." "Humble, a quality that suits you." Naruto smiled as he reached below and Hinata gasped, feeling her final piece of clothing removed as Naruto held it out of the water. "Well, Hinata, how do you feel?" "I feel wonderful, Naruto." She smiled. "Good, then allow me to join you." Naruto squatted down into the water and stood back up, throwing his wet boxers onto shore along with Hinata's unmentionables. "I just hope nobody catches us around here," Hinata said, hoping her own team or sensei wouldn't catch them together. "I'm all over it." Naruto smirked as he formed a hand seal and several sealing tags appeared around the trees surrounding the waterfall and creek and formed a barrier surrounding it. "Naruto, what is this?" Hinata asked. "Over the years I've developed an interest in sealing jutsu experimentation. I've made my own kind of seals, and this is one of them. It projects a barrier around anything surrounding this. It'll keep anyone from entering, meaning right now it's just you and I." "That's amazing." Hinata gasped. "You wanna see something amazing? Get a load of a jutsu I invented on my own." Naruto formed hand signs before speaking. "Onsen no jutsu." Suddenly the water in the creek started bubbling like a jacuzzi, complete with steam rising. "Oh, Naruto, the water feels amazing," Hinata said as the now bubbling water started soothing her. "It does, doesn't it?" Naruto asked. "I mostly use this for my traveling in case I'm nowhere near a town or when I need a soothing soak." "The girls would beg you to teach them a jutsu like this," Hinata said. "No kidding, but I'm afraid it's standard issue," Naruto joked, and they laughed. When their laughter died down, Naruto spoke again. "Can I tell you something, Hinata?" "Of course," she replied. "Before and when I left Konoha, something's also been on my mind." "What is that?" "I've also been curious about my identity." "Your identity?" "Yeah, like just because I have a name it doesn't completely tell me who I am. When I left Konoha, I felt like a part of who I am was gone. I was no longer a Konoha shinobi. So I felt I had to find myself again. And when I got my powers, I just kept questioning my whole being. Who am I, or what am I? Am I truly a ninja, a Jinchuriki, or am I something else?" "The answer's simple, you're Naruto," Hinata answered, "and nothing will ever change that about you." Naruto smiled. "Thanks, Hinata, you always know what to say." He wrapped his arms around her waist, planting one of his hands firmly on her tight ass. "Naruto!" Hinata gasped. "Trust me, Hinata, I know what I'm doing," he said as their lips met and their tongues battled it out. When they broke, both of them panted for air. "I've been wanting to do that with you for 3 years," Naruto said. "I feel the same way," Hinata replied. "Come on," Naruto said as he swam Hinata closer to the shore where it was shallow. Naruto then sat Hinata onto his lap and began to bounce her large breasts and kneaded them together. Hinata blushed as Naruto continued to squeeze and toy with her breasts. As he toyed with them, he went to her neck and started licking it while Naruto shivered, but soon that shiver turned into moans of delight. "Oh, Naruto!" she moaned. Naruto removed his face from her neck, leaving behind a hickey, and then held up her right breast and started sucking on it like an infant. Hinata, enjoying the pleasure, held Naruto's head closer, not wanting him to stop while she could already feel herself getting extra wet below. While Hinata continued to hold his face into her breast, Naruto used a free hand to go below and finger Hinata into her womanhood. As Naruto did so, Hinata buried her head onto his red hair, nuzzling into it. Hinata finally came from so much fingering as Naruto removed himself from her chest. "Alright, Hinata, now it's time for the next phase. Naruto said as they went further into the water while they were able to stand as he held Hinata close and the heiress gasped. Naruto, you're inside me. Yeah, does it hurt? A little, but I'll bear with it for you. She admitted. Then let's go all the way. Naruto said as he started moving around still inside her. Hinata moaned from the sensual feeling and wrapped her arms around the one she's loved for years, making him go deeper into her. As Naruto continued to pump into her, he could feel his length build up and eventually he released it into her. I feel it all inside of me. Hinata panted. Hope you can still go another few rounds, because frankly I'm still stiff. Yes, I can. Perfect. Naruto smirked as he once again started to squeeze and knead her bouncing breasts. Hinata panted but wanting to contain it, so she wrapped her hands around Naruto's head, crashing his lips back onto hers where they once again tongue battled for dominance. Hinata raised her right leg and wrapped it around Naruto's waist, pulling his length deeper inside of her. As Naruto continued thrusting into the moaning girl, both of them eventually came, but Naruto was not ready to stop. 2 hours later, Naruto and Hinata went onto shore where their clothes were. Naruto used his power to levitate his clothes up where he just stepped into his boxers and pants that pulled up due to his psychic hold, while his shirt and jacket were slipped onto him. Once he was dressed, he used his power to put Hinata's clothes back onto her, while Hinata remained perfectly still so not to mess up Naruto's concentration. Hinata, you were absolutely amazing. Naruto said as he hugged her. Well, it was my first time. She admitted. Seriously? Wow, that makes it even better. I just did what came to me is all. She admitted. Well, you were still amazing. Naruto replied as he pecked her cheek. Arigato, Naruto. I'm glad my first time could be with you. She kissed him. Well, as a reward for being very satisfying, how about a different type of fun? Different type? She was confused. Yup. Naruto said as he levitated up and got behind Hinata, putting his hands under her arms and lifted her up higher. Naruto, what are you? Don't worry Hinata, I won't let you go, Naruto said as he flew up higher and higher until he reached above the forest's trees, and away we go. He took off flying while holding on to Hinata. Naruto, this is wonderful. Hinata gasped. Say it loud and proud, Hinata. This is wonderful. She cried out as Naruto continued flying her all around the forest while she moved her legs above the tree tops like she was running on top of them. Hinata laughed with such spirit as Naruto flew downward and across the creek while Hinata was dragging her feet through the top of the water, leaving behind a trail of ripples. What say we head back to the inn for lunch? Naruto suggested. Of course. She agreed as Naruto flew back in the direction of the inn. Back at the inn, everyone was engaging in their own activities, with Kakashi reading his book, Guy and Lee sparring, Chuji munching on some chips, Shikamaru playing shogi with Asuma, Ino and Sakura were gossiping, Tenten was organizing her weapons she kept in her scroll, Niji and Shino were minding their own business. Kiba was trying to score some attention with the workers with Akamaru with no luck, and Kurenai was chatting with Mingju. Suddenly they looked up, seeing Naruto and Hinata fly above them before touching down to the ground. Thanks for the ride, Naruto. Hinata said. No problem. Naruto said. Seems like you two were having fun. Kakashi noted their behavior. Yeah, what were you up to? Sakura asked. I was just showing Hinata the joys of being able to fly. Naruto answered. Naruto-sama. The workers ran from Kiba and clung to him. We're so glad you came back. One said while laying her head on his right shoulder. You're much more fun to talk to. Another said while laying her head on his left shoulder. Kiba gawked and looked down. I just can't win. Soon everyone was inside having lunch, with Naruto using his psychic ability to use his chopsticks to pick up the food and put it in his mouth while he kicked back. He then made his chopsticks pick up some more and looked to Hinata. Hinata, open up. Hinata, taking the hint, did so as the chopsticks levitated over and placed the food in her mouth. Delicious. She said. Ino and Tenten watched feeling envious knowing something more happened between the two, and mentally cursed themselves for letting Hinata get ahead of them. One of the workers who was holding a bottle of something strutted her way to Naruto with a sway in her hips. "Naruto-sama, refill?" "Yes please," Naruto said, holding out his glass that was filled with the beverage. "Naruto, how can you be drinking?" Sakura asked. "This ain't sake, Sakura, it's a special energy elixir they invented. With a swig of this you'll be up ready to go like that." "Such a drink exists?" Lee gasped. "Let me have some of that, with it I shall be faster and stronger than I ever imagined." "No." His team cried, knowing what happens to Lee if he drank too much of a certain brand of elixir. Naruto chuckled. "Ah, this is what it's all about, sitting around a table, having a bite, sharing a few laughs, and enjoying each other's company." "Agreed," Chao said as she poured him more of the elixir. Chapter end. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Peace out.